In my last video, I spoke a lot about how much I love ballet, and I was waxing poetic about my love for the art form and what ballet does for me. I think I made it sound a bit as though my practice is all sunshine and rainbows. So this time, I want to balance that impression a little bit, mention one of the things that I struggle with in ballet. And it's probably not one of the first things that would come to mind, like body image issues, eating disorders, racism, etc. No. Those are issues for another day. Yes, there are many benefits, but I wouldn't be honest if I didn't tell you some of the things that I find really tricky to deal with. So I'm going to be doing my class in a little bit, my ballet class. But I could tell you that as I get ready, there's actually a lot on my mind because it's been a very challenging week at work. I've been actually ruminating quite a bit about things that I may have done incorrectly and my inadequacies. I don't think of myself as a perfectionist, but lately I've been wondering whether I might not be more of a perfectionist than I even thought. In some ways, ballet seems like the perfect fix for this because there is no room in your mind when you're in class to be thinking about these thoughts. You really do have to focus on what you're doing. But on the other hand, I've also been sort of wondering lately whether the very nature of ballet itself might not, in some ways, encourage my perfectionism. So that is something I want to talk about in this video. Before I get into that though, I just want to welcome everybody, and it's really good to be with you again and good to have you here. And I just want to extend a very special welcome to those of you who are new and my new subscribers. It's just so exciting whenever I get a new subscriber, and I'm really looking forward to hitting that 100 mark. It doesn't seem like it's a big number, especially in YouTube terms, but for me, it will be an exciting milestone, and I'm looking forward to it. So, if you like my content, please join the team and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so there's a positive thought that I can take with me as I head into class.
Hi, Molly. Welcome. Open 8. Demi plie. And 1. Stretch. And 2. And stretch. Relevant. Allongé. And lower. Relevant. And lower. Now tendu. Side. And flex. And point. And flex. Point and hold. Rock right to the side. Coming in. And lower second. 2 demis. 1. And stretch. 2. And stretch. We relevant. Rise. And relevant. And lower. Demi with the ground. Arm comes high at the end.
From the moment I sink into my first pliés, I start to tune into the details of posture, turnout, and port de bras. There are so many details to consider to do the movements correctly, and my job is to make my body execute each one. Is my pelvis tucked? Shoulders down? Pay attention to those saggy arms. Are my legs as straight as they can be? Just a little bit more weight over my toes. Okay, which way is my head supposed to be? Is it this way, that way? wait, which way? And then I forget the combination. Gotta pick it up and keep going. As you can see, there's plenty of opportunity for self-criticism here. And the ideal is ever before me of getting it all right. This is the Holy Grail. One day I'll be able to do it all correctly. Finally, perfection. Isn't this the very essence of perfectionism? Seeking to do everything correctly? Does ballet naturally attract me because I tend to be a perfectionist? Or does ballet itself bring out the perfectionist in me? Or is it a combination of both? Either way, I feel this desire to get things right is flaring up more than I would like it to lately. I can be quite hard on myself when I don't perform to my expectations. I realize more and more the little sneaky voices of judgment that can throw me into a bad mood without me even realizing it. If I ask myself what's really behind my low moods, too often the answer is a sense of not meeting my goals somehow. I don't want to call myself a perfectionist because of all the negative connotations these days. The prevailing view seems to be that it is unhealthy at best and toxic at worst. Psychology tells us that in chasing perfection, we're chasing something that doesn't exist in a distorted perception of reality, creating unrealistic expectations and placing excessive burdens on ourselves and others. To be honest, I'm not so sure there isn't a place in the world for perfectionism. Hasn't it led to some of the greatest accomplishments and the finest masterpieces the world has ever seen? What if Michael Jackson were okay with mediocrity? Honestly, I'm not sure ballet dance would be what it is if it wasn't for the perfectionists who participate in the art form. What do you think? I obviously have mixed feelings about this. But I speak from experience when I say my tendency to want to get things all correct without mistakes comes at a cost. If indeed ballet fires up my perfectionistic streak, then I need something to cool it down. I feel if I do something without any goal, free from judgment, that would be very healing for this sort of a problem. And so I've decided to revisit an old hobby. On this sunny afternoon, I'm going to the park and I'm going to try to draw again. I can't tell you the last time that I've tried to draw something. It's been so long, and I can't possibly expect to be any good at it at this point. But I think that's the attraction. When I try a new hobby or a new activity, or I try something that I haven't tried for a long time, I find it's an opportunity to practice making mistakes, which is ironic. I mean, who should have to practice making mistakes, right? But maybe some of us do. With drawing, I know that I have nothing to lose and nothing to gain. The stakes are low, so it will be very liberating. Ultimately, though, I think the most important way that I avoid the trap of perfectionism is by just paying attention to my reactions. I'm constantly reacting to influences around me that tell me stories about myself. I react negatively and positively depending on what those stories are. They come from so many directions. Because of these stories, I constantly have to remind myself of the truth. My worth as a person, my worth is not determined by my performance, whether it is good or bad. With perhaps one exception, the value of being a kind, decent, compassionate, and loving human being. And so whatever I do, whether I be dancing, drawing, or working, whatever I do, I always have to pay attention, pay close attention to how I'm thinking, to my reactions, and to keep myself grounded. So these are some of the ways that I keep myself from becoming too much of a perfectionist. And if you struggle with this, I hope that some of these ideas will help you too. So this is where we part for now. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, I wish you lots of love and happiness. Take good care. Bye.